Marcus Aurelius was one of the greatest emperors known to man, a ruler of the Roman Empire, a warrior, and above all, a philosopher. He remains one of the few examples in history of a man who wielded ultimate power, yet sought mastery not over others, but over himself. Let us then analyze one of his teachings from the book Meditations. None of the things ought to be called a man's which do not belong to a man as man. They are not required of a man, nor does man's nature promise them, nor are they the means of man's nature attaining its end. Neither then does the end of man lie in these things, nor yet that which aids to the accomplishment of end. Besides, if any of these things did belong to man, it would not be right for a man to despise them and to set himself against them. Nor would a man be worthy of praise who showed that he did not want these things, nor would he who stinted himself in any of them be good, if indeed these things were good. But now the more of these things a man deprives himself of, or of other things like them, or even when he is deprived of any of them, the more patiently he endures the loss, just in the same degree he is a better man. What Marcus means in this passage is that the true nature and value of a man are not found in external circumstances, nor in his wealth, status, clothing, possessions, or reputation, but rather within his own character, his own choices, his own judgment, the way he responds to pain, the way he resists temptation, the way he rules over himself. That is the only kingdom a man is ever guaranteed, and that is the only kingdom that can never be taken from him. What you need to be truly valuable, then, is not a house by the sea, or a garage filled with cars, or applause from the masses, but rather the ability to master your inner world, your thoughts, your judgments, your desires, your aversions, your actions. These are the things that were not added onto you, but came with you into the world. They are not separate from the natural state you were born into. The Stoics believed this was the key to living a meaningful life, acting in accordance with your own nature, not in conflict with it. This theme is not only philosophical, but vividly portrayed in Berserk through the characters of Griffith and Guts. Griffith believes that fulfillment lies in building an external kingdom, one of gold, soldiers, and applause. He treats his ambition as divine, yet refuses to look inward. His mind is chaotic, his desires uncontrollable, yet he never attempts to subdue them. Rather than mastering the kingdom within, he seeks to conquer the world outside, believing it will silence the chaos in his own soul. But the soul is not so easily silenced, and what is not mastered within eventually manifests without as destruction. Guts, on the other hand, is a man who has committed acts of savagery. He has taken lives. He has followed rage into darkness. Yet he does not lie to himself. He is not asleep. With every external battle, he seems to draw closer to the real war, the war inside. During and after each arc, we witness moments where he reflects, not out of sentimentality, but out of necessity. Each battle forces him to confront who he is, what he is becoming, and where his nature is leading him. Through pain, loss, betrayal, he begins slowly to live true to his own nature. Thorfinn, from Vinland Saga, is a purer example still. A man who began in hatred and vengeance only to realize that no enemy was more dangerous than the one within. He lays down the sword, not out of weakness, but because he has conquered the desire to wield it. That is strength. Not abstaining from violence because one is afraid, but refusing it even when one has the power. Because he has come to understand what truly belongs to a man and what does not. This brings forth a difficult question. Must we go through external chaos in order to finally live true to our nature? Must we first lose the world in order to find the self? Because when we look at the world today, we see chaos, wars that never end, people who cannot control their own thoughts, an endless addiction to consumption, identity based on likes, followers, projections, performance, and beneath it all, a deep neglect of the soul. We spend our lives chasing things that do not belong to man. Money, status, image, novelty. But none of these are promised by nature. None are essential to who we are. We are born without them, and we die without them, yet still we chase. Marcus Aurelius would say that it is good for a man to lose these things. It is good to be deprived of them, because then he can see what remains, and the more patiently he endures the loss, the stronger he becomes. The less he needs, the more he is. Perhaps it is necessary then for humanity to go through this phase, this collapse of outer order, in order to learn that the solution was always inward. Perhaps the noise must reach its peak before we begin to crave silence again.